You pay for your own house. You pay for your own car. You pay for your own food. But did you know the President of the United States pays for almost none of that? In fact, the American taxpayer, people like you, spend over $1.6 billion every single year just to keep one person in the White House. That's not a typo, $1.6 billion per year. So today, we're breaking down exactly where all that money goes, and honestly, some of these numbers are going to shock you. Welcome back to FineScope USA. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics, the presidential salary. The president earns $400,000 per year. That's the official paycheck. Sounds like a lot, right? But here's the thing. The salary is actually the smallest part of what being president costs. On top of that $400K salary, the president also receives a $50,000 expense account every year, a $100,000 travel budget, and a $19,000 entertainment allowance. So just in direct compensation, that's already about $569,000 per year. But we haven't even started on the real costs yet, because the salary, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Slight tone shift, building curiosity. Let's talk about the home, the most famous address in America, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House is a 55,000 square foot mansion with 132 rooms, 35 bathrooms, a movie theater, a bowling alley, a tennis court, and its own medical clinic. The president doesn't pay rent, but the American taxpayers spend approximately $2.5 million per year just to maintain and operate the White House. And here's an interesting detail most people don't know. The president actually does pay for their own personal groceries and food for private meals. That's one of the very few things they cover out of pocket. But for state dinners, official events, and entertaining foreign leaders, that's all billed to the taxpayer. $2.5 million a year just for the house, and we're just getting warmed up. Now, this is where the numbers get wild. The Secret Service, the team responsible for protecting the president, costs American taxpayers over $800 million per year. Total budget. Now, not all of that goes to just the president. They protect the vice president, former presidents, and their families too. But protecting the sitting president alone, estimates put that cost at roughly $200 to $300 million annually. Think about what that includes. Hundreds of agents working in rotating shifts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Armored vehicles, including the presidential limo, nicknamed the Beast. That one car alone estimated to cost around $1.5 million. And the motorcade that travels with it, sometimes 40 to 50 vehicles. Every time the president leaves the White House, an entire operation kicks into gear. Roads get closed, snipers get positioned, helicopters go on standby. All of that, every single day, every trip, every outing. That's your tax dollars hard at work. Now, let's talk about the plane. Air Force One. This is not a regular airplane. This is a flying White House. It has a full conference room, sleeping quarters, a medical suite, and can even be refueled in mid-air, so it never needs to land. The cost to operate Air Force One? According to the Air Force, it runs approximately $200,000 per flight hour. $200,000 per hour in the air. A round trip from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles and back, that's roughly 10 hours of flight time, about $2 million just for one round trip. And presidents travel a lot, both for official business and personal trips. In fact, a government watchdog report estimated that presidential travel can easily cost over $100 million per year when you factor in all the security, logistics, and support staff that travel along, just to move one person from point A to point B. Here's something that hits different given what's in the news right now. The president receives completely free world-class health care. Walter Reed National Military Medical Center is essentially the president's personal hospital. A full medical team is on call 24/7, dedicated to one patient. The cost of that level of medical care? Tens of millions per year, while the average American pays $8,000 to $12,000 a year just for health insurance premiums. And then there's Camp David, the presidential retreat in Maryland. It costs taxpayers approximately $8 million per year to operate. Think of it as a luxury mountain resort that you pay for, but you're not invited. All right, let's add it all up. Because this is a finance channel, let's look at the actual numbers. Presidential salary and benefits, around $569,000 per year. White House operations, around $2.5 million per year. Secret Service and security, around $200 to $300 million per year. Air Force One and travel, around $100+ million per year. Camp David operations, around $8 million per year. Military support and other costs, around $1 billion plus per year. Total? Estimates vary, but most nonpartisan analysts put the total annual cost of the presidency at between $1.4 billion and $2 billion every single year. That's not the White House budget. That's not the government budget. That is specifically the cost of supporting one person in the highest office in the land. Now, is it worth it? That's a question we're thinking about, because the president isn't just a person. They're the leader of the most powerful nation on earth. Security, mobility, and support aren't luxuries, they're necessities. But knowing the numbers, that's always worth it, and that's exactly why we're here. So there you have it, the real cost of being the President of the United States. Billions of dollars paid by ordinary Americans every single year. Now, before you go, I want to ask you something, and I actually want your answer. Drop this in the comments right now. Do you think $1.5 billion a year is too much to spend on the presidency, or is it completely justified? Let me know below. I read every single comment, so I genuinely want to know what you think. If you found this video valuable, give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find this channel. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. We break down money, finance, and economic topics in a way that actually makes sense. I'm putting out new videos every week, so don't miss the next one. Until then, stay smart with your money. I'll see you in the next video.